What's up out there? We are back with another entry into my off-the-shelf series, and today we're taking a look at a game from the developer Accelerate, which we've looked at a game from them before called Megaloot last year about this time. I'll try to remember to link that video up in the cards up above, but today we're taking a look at a game called Yollen, and as mentioned, this is developed and published by Accelerate. This will be releasing on August 18th, 2025, priced at $3.99. It's available on Steam. There are no reviews because the game's not out yet, and I'm able to bring you this video ahead of time because the developer reached out and provided me with a Steam key. There is a demo, which I will have a link to the store page down below if you're interested in checking it out. And this game is described as a brutally minimalist idle game. I'd basically call it more of a pixel art Melver idle, if you want to call it that. So this game, before we dive into the game, let's dive into the settings. I can't forget that. We've got the different volume settings you would expect up here. There's also a wide variety of languages to choose from. I was kind of surprised at how many there were. And the usual windowed, full screen, and borderless. When you make it full screen, you have to scroll down and hit the quit button, but if you don't have it full screen, it's just right there. So it's like a scaling type issue that if you try to figure out where the quit button is when you make it full screen, that's why. So this game is pretty much like Melver Idle. You've got a whole range of skills over here. You've got fighting, fishing, cooking, mining, wood cutting. What is this? This is crafting, gathering, alchemy. Then you've got smelting, market. This is kind of an interesting idea. Thieving and lockpicking. So pretty much when you start the game out, you're going to have a very limited set of options. You're going to have the ability to fight things because this doesn't require an item. You're going to have the ability to gather things because it doesn't require a weapon or tool. Gathering doesn't require a weapon or tool, and thieving does not require a weapon or tool. So those are the basic starting skills that you're going to have to work with. If you go in to do fighting, you'll hit the idle button. You'll notice that your energy bar and health bar deplete. Once you're out of either one, you stop. Now you can no longer idle, and it says energy required. The next thing you're probably going to do is click over here on the gathering skill and say, well, maybe I want to go gather some stuff to replenish my life and energy. So you come over here. Can we do red mushrooms? Do these heal? I think they may heal for a little bit more, but they may take longer to gather. Yeah, those heal for a lot more. But do they generate... I have to wait and gather one more. There are auto consume and auto equip buttons. Oh, this just does health. Does the plant do energy? You really need to generate both to refill this if you want to go back into combat. No, these things don't do anything. So we're back to the berry bushes, and we could drop that. So you've got a bunch of skills to choose from. You've got a very limited set of skills that you can actually use at the beginning. And all of these skills pretty much intertwine into each other at some point. So for instance, if you go into combat, you're going to basically run out of life and energy very quickly. You're going to have to go over here into gathering skill to gather up some of these berries. Get rid of those things, but you'll have to go gather up a bunch of berries in order to regenerate your life and energy. And you'll see that I'm at level 99 because I just basically let this go and fill up my inventory. There is AFK offline, so you can turn this off and come back and have progress. However, the progress that you are going to get is limited based on this inventory you have and your tool's durability. And yes, I did say durability on this. So as mentioned, you do have a very limited set of skills that you can work with right off the bat. So you can go into combat. Once you've burned off your health and energy, you have to come down here to gathering and replenish that. And you kind of got to teeter-totter back and forth between those two. Now, if you want to do anything else in the game, you have to have, let's see here, if I unequip this and select rock, it's going to tell me I have to have a pickaxe is required. If I click on fishing, I cannot do fishing because I don't have a fishing rod. Obviously, if I can't fish, I can't cook. And I also have to have a cooking pot. So I can't mine, I can't cut wood, I can't do any kind of crafting without iron bars. Iron bars take iron ore takes a pickaxe, and you have to level mining up and able to be able to do that anyway. So you're probably trying to figure out where all this is gonna come from because I have no way of doing anything. Well, that's where thieving comes in. So you come down here to thieving, you pick the villager, you start idling this, you will start generating gold. As you generate more gold, that means you're going to be able to go spend the gold on the market, which is kind of interesting, using like buying stuff as an actual skill. So you come over here, you go to lockpicks, you go buy these up until you level up far enough to purchase iron pickaxes and iron axes and things like that. There's an iron cooking pot. I presume the saw lets you cut trees down and stuff like that. So you're basically going to go from thieving to get some gold over here to lock picking. Now, these skills are not unlocked at first, but you can take the lock picks over to the lock picking skill and then idle this thing off. And as you open this, you will get stuff like scrap. You'll get iron axe, you'll get pickaxes, things like that. You will get some tools out of this. And that's kind of where all this interlaces back together. So if I wanted to go fishing, I have to go equip this. We can go pick a fish. We can start idling it. And we can actually idle this, and this will go AFK as well. You can close the game out and come back and check on it later. However, the difference is this fishing rod only has so much durability. So once I've used up the durability, and it goes down fast, like you can see it's going down by 10% each time. So once that's gone, I'm done. Even though I've turned it off, I'm not going to get like 1,000 fish. I'm going to get exactly the number of fish that my durability allows. And then once you've got that done, you can go cook these fish if you want. So this thing's going to break. It's going to go away. Now we've got an iron axe. We can go over here to trees, chop trees for a little bit. Again, you're limited based on the durability on the item. Once this runs out, you're done. And we're eating food because it's burning energy. So we're eating our food up to keep ahead of the energy. So if I go over here to mining and we go, I'm leveled up, we'll do iron ore. Actually, you know what? I want rock. So we're going to go and mine some rock because rocks actually goes into alchemy. So it all kind of just feeds into each other, and you have to figure out, it's a puzzle because you got to figure out what skill leads into what. Now you'll generate stuff like as I was fighting these skeletons, they started dropping bones. I don't know if these bones are ever useful for anything, but they're taking up inventory space, which is very limited. So I'm just going to drop them. Same thing with these snake fangs. I killed a bunch of snakes. Now I got a bunch of fangs. I don't know what they do. Maybe they're a material for later on in the game, but I don't have a use for them right now. So I'm going to drop them. Now you may also be wondering how you get bigger stash space. And I think if I understand this correctly, it's kind of difficult because you don't see the stash space come up. So I'm not entirely sure where it comes from. But as you complete various challenges, it'll light this stats button up down here. And then you complete these challenges, click the button, collect your reward. And I believe the reward is going to be stash space because when you click this, you don't get to see what's on the other side until you click back over here to show back over. And then you've got more stash space. So you're going to start off with a very limited stash space, and you're going to have a very limited range of skills to work on because you're not going to have the tools to use some of the other ones. And you kind of have to bounce around from skill to skill and try to figure out how to get the tools, how to get the materials. I don't know if you can ever truly let this thing go for like 24 hours if you have enough materials for that or not. I'm not sure. I haven't got that far. I've basically spent my time like gathering and things like that. And pretty much what I'm doing here is just bouncing back and forth between the various skills, trying to get an item to go work on the other skill. You can only work on the other skill for a short time. Like for instance, going into lockpicking, I'll get a few tools out of that. I'll take those tools and use them, collect some materials. And then the materials I collect, like even though I can chop trees, I can't do anything with the wood yet. So I just have to go delete it. Like there's no option to use oak wood yet. So I just have to drop it. Wooden bugs, scrap, like there might be a use at some point, but I don't have a use for it now. So the game is pretty much playable like that. There is an AFK offline, I keep saying AFK, but there is an offline progression portion of it. But the way this works, you're pretty much going to be playing this game and micromanaging everything as you go and trying to keep it all balanced so that you're progressing your skills forward and not just stalling out. And another good example of that is as you do gathering, you'll gather these golden berries. Well, these things will fill up your inventory. It's great to have them. They give you an additional 1% experience. However, the problem is once you start gathering this stuff, as you fill in your inventory with these things, you're not gathering whatever you're trying to gather, or, you know, if you're chopping trees or something like that. So there's a lot of balancing, and I think that's where the gameplay is trying to keep all that balance so that you get level 99 in all the skills. And I believe the ultimate goal is to come down here and kill this level 99 monster. I think that's what the whole end game is. And then you actually get an end of game once you've defeated that thing. So I think that's how this all works. At least that's how it's worked for me so far. I don't know if there's any other secrets that you run across. Like you'll wind up, I don't remember how I get these, like energy belt gives you extra energy and things like that. So if I was to equip this, it's going to give me far more energy, which means once I've healed this up, it's going to take longer to bring down. But there's a lot of different items. I think I saw a wiki page in here. I've yet to go to the wiki page. I'm going to guess there's a lot of information, probably answer a lot of the questions that I have about it. But I've been letting myself be surprised by the game and just trying to enjoy it and try to piece the puzzle together myself. So this is a very cool game. I like it. I think it's a pretty interesting twist on the way like Melverido works and things like that. I like the art style to it. It's a very cool concept, very minimalist as the developer describes it. And it's been a lot of fun to play and check out and try to piece together. I need to spend some more time with it, obviously, but it's a very cool game and I do recommend this. And I did like Megaloot, and I'm hoping this developer keeps cranking stuff out because I've liked everything they've produced. Well, the 2 games they've produced so far, I've really enjoyed. As I understand it, this game was like the first game the developer worked on, and then they probably shelved this to work on Megaloot, develop that, put it out the door, and then decided to come back and bring this one out and finish it off and release it, which is where we're at now. So at any rate, I like the game. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's worth passing forward. If you're interested in it, I will have a Steam page linked down below. And that is going to do it for this video. We will catch you on the next one. Take care.